Go. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. This is the time and place for the regular city council meeting of the Boise City Council. With due respect to our brothers and sisters in the fire department, fire codes be damned. We're going to have a great night tonight. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for coming. And cue the pipes and drums.
And your parents.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Folks, I think they can all still hear us. Let's hear it for our singers, for the band, for the Girl Scouts, for everybody that made this happen. Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce Brian Thomas from the Boise Valley people. Please recognize Brian.
Good evening. That was really a nice opening ceremony you guys had here. My name is Brian Thomas. I'm with a member of the Shoshone-Paiute tribes of the Duck Valley Indian Reservation, Hawaii, Nevada. And I'd like to recognize some of our tribal members here. How many do we have here in the audience from the different tribes in Idaho across the United States? One or two? All right. This is an honor to be a part of this historical event this evening of the swearing-in ceremony with the first Boise female mayor-elect, Madame Mayor Lauren Mcclean. Congratulations on your triumph, what you've done here. As tribal leaders, we hope that we can sit down at the table with the Boise City Council and have discussions with collaborative efforts between all the indigenous tribes within the Boise Valley area to help bolster the efforts to bring back our native and cultural ways and allow the tribes access to the fundamental Boise Valley. This is really a truly beautiful, beautiful valley. I want to acknowledge Dave Beater. Mayor Beater, it was really an honor to have the opportunity to work with you in accomplishing the aspirations of the tribes of Idaho, Nevada, and Oregon. As your time on the City Council draws to a close, we want to express our sincere gratitude for your time and effort, dedication, and compassion for our Native people that you've expressed while serving in office. The proclamation, thank you very much on that, and the City Council acknowledging the Quarry View Park area. Your service is a tough role, and you took on the duties with dedication, grace, and seriousness. We will certainly miss working with you. Thank you, Mr. Beater. Thank you very much. We believe that working with Boise City Council as descendants, it is important to establish a cultural center somewhere near our beautiful state capital so that the public will know our true history of the area. We will always have ties to Boise City and will work towards that goal as tribes. This is an honor to be asked by the 5 Boise Valley tribes, the Shoshone-Paiute tribes, Idaho, Nevada, Shoshone-Bannock tribes of Idaho, Fort McDermott Paiute, Shoshone tribe, Nevada and Oregon, the Burns Paiute tribe of Oregon, and the Confederated Tribes of Warm Springs, Oregon. We are the survivors of the Bannock Wars and descendants of the beautiful Boise Valley. Pictures from the 1800s show the old Fort Boise and the native camps along the beautiful, pristine Boise River, when the salmon and wildlife was very, very plentiful. Not only the Boise Valley, this includes the Magic Valley from the foothills of the Jarbidge Mountains clear into the Camas Prairie. We are so happy to be a part of this gathering here today and be recognized. Our people are nomadic, traveling along the Snake River, the Bruno River, Weiser, and Owyhee River that took us where the salmon annually migrated to spawn in huge numbers back in the early 1900s and late 1800s. We traveled through the hills and valleys, hunting and fishing to survive, marking our territory by writing on the walls. Our petroglyphs told us of our existence of thousands of years ago. Not like modern Facebook posting on someone's wall, it is today's technology. Our people were writing long, long ago on the beautiful rocks, canyon walls in the valleys and out in the desert. My immediate family and many families from the Boise Valley area that have close ties to all of the five mentioned tribes, which include many tribal members of Idaho, Utah, Wyoming, California, and Washington. We have many ancestors killed during the Bannock Wars. They were not pleasant stories as told by our elders. So much was left behind in shallow burial grounds. So much left behind by our ancestors in the high desert country and along the springs and waterways of Idaho, Oregon, and Nevada, not to mention the old military weapons the people had no use for. They left them in the different areas of the desert, and they're probably still out there. There was no use for the weapons without ammunition when they ended up with a weapon back in the 1800s, 1900s. After the battles with the cavalry, our ancestors tried fighting off the military, and many were killed. The Idaho Territorial Governor and Superintendent of Indian Affairs, Caleb Lyons, signed the Boise Valley Treaty of 1864. The treaty said the Boise Shoshoneans and all people within the Boise area would give up most of the valley, with the exception was land 30 miles on each side from the center of the Boise River to all country draining from its mouth and its source. An equal share of fisheries was promised. The land was relinquished in good faith, but Congress never ratified the treaty. The title of the land has never been given up by any of the tribes. The cavalry forcibly forced our people from the area in 1869 and 1979, where the Bundys from the Burns area were marched. When silver and gold was discovered in the Boise Valley, most of the tribal people were marched to the areas where they are now located. However, some are imprisoned at either Fort Boise, Fort Simcoe, or Fort Vancouver in Washington. It was a difficult time for all, as many passed along the way. Many of our elders said the Boise River ran red with the blood of our tribal people. The Boise Valley is important to us all. We call the Paiutes and Numa and the Shoshones Nuwa people. And we continue to return to the Eagle Rock and Castle Rock located above Quarry View Park, where we pray for our ancestors, and as many are buried there. It is forever etched in our hearts and minds, as we will never forget our homeland. Thank you for providing the five tribes with a little bit of time during this historic moment, and you are greatly appreciated. I thank you very, very much from the five tribes of Idaho, Oregon, and Nevada. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brian. And now, bear with us just a few minutes. We have a little bit of business to do. I need to officially open the meeting. And will the clerk please call the roll?
Clegg.
Here.
Ludwig.
Here.
Mcclean.
Here.
Sanchez.
Here.
Thompson.
Here.
Woodings.
Here.
All present.
Next up is the fourth order of business is request for approval of the minutes of the regular day meeting of December 17th, 2019.
Mr. Mayor, I move approval of the minutes from December 17th, 2019.
Second.
Moved and second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Fifth order of business is the consent agenda. All items with an asterisk are considered to be routine by the council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless the council member or citizen so requests, in which case the item will be removed from the general order of business and considered in its normal sequence.
Mr. Mayor, I move approval of the consent agenda.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Clegg.
Yes.
Ludwig.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Sanchez.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Woodings. All in favor, motion carries.
Now I'd like to recognize Councilmember Scott Ludwig with our deep gratitude to you, Scott. Oh, did I miss something?
The third reading.
Oop.
We have one.
Reading of ordinances, you think I would know that after this much time, but we will now proceed to the reading of ordinances, nothing on the first or second reading calendar, which brings us to the third reading calendar.
Mr. Mayor, I move that further reading of ordinance 5719 be dispensed with and the record reflect that it's been read the third time in full.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Clegg.
Yes.
Ludwig.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Sanchez.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Woodings. All in favor, motion carries. ORD-57-19, an ordinance CAR 19-00015, Joplin Pond LLC, for property located at 11532 West Joplin Road, annexing 31.2 plus minus acres of certain lands and territories situated in Ada County, Idaho, adjacent and contiguous to the corporate limits of the city of Boise City, establishing and determining the land use classification of said plus minus 31.2 acres as M-2D DA Heavy Industrial with Design Review and Development Agreement. Setting forth a reasoned statement in support of such annexation and zone change, directing the city engineer to lodge and file a legal description and map for said annexed lands and territory, providing that copies of this ordinance shall be filed with the Ada County Auditor, the Ada County Treasurer, the Ada County Assessor, the Ada County Recorder, and the Idaho State Tax Commission, providing that a copy of said legal description and map of said annexed lands and territory be recorded with the Ada County Recorder and filed with the Ada County Assessor and the Idaho State Tax Commission as required by law, and providing an effective date.
Mr. Mayor, I move that ordinance 5719 be approved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Clegg.
Yes.
Ludwig.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Sanchez.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Woodings. All in favor, motion carries.
And now, the chair will recognize Councilmember Scott Ludwig and acknowledge and express our deep gratitude for Scott for his dedicated service on the council. I've served with a lot of different council members and enjoyed serving with all of them, but I don't know that anyone brought as much fun and is just as much love for life and for this job and for the city more than Scott Ludwig. So, Councilmember Ludwig, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mayor Beater. And I think I bring that fun and love because I love this city so much and being around people that care so much. And I just want to say a few words and I'll get out of the way. First of all, it's been such a humbling experience to be a city council member in this amazing city for 5 years. And I say that because every one of you as a constituent I cared about, regardless of whether we had the same views or not. I was never, ever upset when someone saw something different than I. And in this city, it's such an amazing city, and the talent level is so high, and the citizens care so much that there's no way the city won't continue to be an amazing place to live. I'm looking forward to being a constituent of this amazing city council. And I think Jimmy and Patrick bring an amazing opportunity to this city, too, to replace the two council members that are leaving. So I just wanted to thank all of you for the experience that you've afforded me this last 5 years to sit here on Tuesday nights and to engage in other ways with you. This is an activist community. Activists move the needle, bring fresh ideas, and have always done so in a respectful way that I've seen in the last 5 years and have made an amazing impact on the city. I want to also thank my family. They're here, at least some of them. All the college kids are here getting ready to go back to college. My wife, Christina, and Porter, Nico, and Bella are all college kids that are back. My high school daughter is hopefully studying. But the sacrifice that family members make is actually really pretty significant and and significant friends and people that surround public servants, because they're supporting you when you come home from a long night. They miss you. They're not able to have you there all the time. So God bless all the family members that and good friends and close friends that support the public servants. I want to thank the colleagues that I've had. And I see Mary Ann Jordan here and Ben Quintana were on the city council when I arrived, and they were gracious and respectful and great mentors. The members that I've worked with that are here at the dais that you guys are going to be blessed to join are amazing. They're bright, they care, they're honest, and they have nothing but selfless effort in mind in what they've accomplished, including my colleague Lauren, who's been an amazing colleague of mine for 5 years also. All the ideas that people bring and the passion that they bring is just outstanding. I want to thank Amanda, of course, who runs the city council office and has survived lots of transition, which means she's amazing. Thank you, Amanda, and also Stephanie. You guys are amazing. I want to thank Mayor Beater for his service the last 16 years and what he's done for this city. Of course, nobody could ever question his passion and commitment for this city. There's not a place you can go in this city without him being able to say, I did touch that in some fashion, or that opportunity. I'm excited for him to be in the different industry, maybe, or private sector. His daughter, Josie, I don't think has ever known him as anything but a mayor and in public service. And he has so much more to give, and I know he'll give that in different ways. And I'm excited that he has that opportunity. He's ran an ethical administration for these 16 years, and I'm just so proud to have been a member of this council and also a member of this community. I also want to really tell Lauren Mcclean that I am so excited for her new visions and her fresh ideas that she'll bring. That's what happens when you have a transition. You have new ideas and fresh ideas, and she's bright and intelligent, and I'm excited to see what she sees in this community going forward, and I fully support her also. So I just wanted to thank all of you for this experience. I'll never forget it, and I pray for our leadership that they go forward and do all the things that they want to effectuate to continue to make the city the greatest city in the country. Thank you so much.
Well, now, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to hear one of the shortest speeches I've ever given. I just want to say, when you are fortunate enough to be able to serve in a job that you love as much as I've loved this job, you don't accept thanks for that. You give thanks for that. And that is really what I want to do. To my family, first of all, to everyone that served up here, those that are here, and many that served before that are in this room, and some that aren't, to the greatest group of staff members that I could ever imagine, the dedication through tough times, through good times, to department heads, that are here, past and present, to the dedicated employees of the city of Boise, who have lived by the values that we post right up here in our council chambers. But most of all, to the citizens of Boise for allowing me the honor and privilege of being the mayor of my hometown at all, but for 16 years, is more blessings than I could ever imagine. I wish nothing but the best to the new mayor and council members. God bless you, ladies and gentlemen, and God bless the great city of Boise. Thank you very much.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the city would like to welcome a performance by the Boise Women's Chorus. Please join me in welcoming them. please join me one more time in thanking the Boise Women's Chorus for their performance. And now we will begin with the swearing-in ceremonies. First, we will have Mayor-elect Lauren Mcclean being sworn in by Judge Daniel Stucco.
Do you have a thing for me? Hold on.
All right, if you'd raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Lauren Mcclean,
I, Lauren Mcclean,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Idaho,
the Constitution of the State of Idaho,
and the laws and ordinances of the City of Boise,
and the laws and ordinances of the City of Boise,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of Mayor of the City of Boise
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of Mayor of the City of Boise
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations, Mayor McLean.
So thank you, everybody. I'm going to go a little off script and say, as someone who's really short and often and couldn't see when everybody was standing, if there are littles in the back, I know that my family won't mind if they're sitting in front of them, and they're more than welcome to come up if they want to be up and be able to see the rest of the swearing-ins after I speak or now, whatever they'd like to do. I thank you all so much for being here. I did the worst thing for me, which was write a speech, which means I'm going to feel constrained to use it, and so I ditched it and decided I'm just going to talk from the heart this evening. And want to start first by saying, oh good, that I am so humbled by the experience that I've had and the trust that you've all placed in me. I want to thank Mayor Beater for his 16 years of service and the incredibly gracious words that he left us with that will inspire me daily moving forward, because I understand so clearly what he talks about in terms of being thankful. I'd like to thank my family, of course my husband, Scott, who's an incredible partner, incredible dad and parent, and has been someone that I've known since I was 16, and I feel so grateful to have him in my life. Our daughter Madeline, who's studying overseas, so is here via FaceTime, thank you Apple. And our son, Aiden, a sophomore at Boise High. We're so proud of you both. They've both been so involved in this race. And I want to thank all of you, because we are here tonight to mark a lot of changes for our community, not just as mayor, but with the new council. And I thought I'd first start, and Mr. Taylor, thank you so much for your acknowledgement tonight, the land acknowledgement. I appreciate you being here. With the story that many of you know, but that Boise story that so many of us share. And the reason that I'm here tonight and feel so blessed to be here tonight is that Scott and I, like so many of us in this room, aren't from here. This isn't our hometown. None of us can really claim to be here, but we are visitors passing through this place that are blessed to be able to create the community in which we live. But we are lucky enough to find this place at a young age, to take a chance and to land here. And through that, we were able to build a home, create a life, and be wrapped up in the arms of the people in this community, so that this city and this community became our family. I also want to recognize that in that, so many of us have that same story, and it's that we're all trying to protect as we move through this moment of growth, that we recognize that our city has changed so much, that we want to protect what we love about this place, but we can only really do it by acknowledging where we've been, where we know we need to head, and getting at what we believe is the essence of this place, which is that connection to the people and women throughout this city, to the wide open spaces and the urban places that we have, and the river running through the heart of our community, the quiet places that we find in the urban craziness, and all the people that make this place what she is. I also want to thank tonight Carolyn Turtling Payne. Carolyn was the first female mayor of the city of Boise. And Carolyn filled in at a moment when we really needed someone whose presence of mind, strength of character, and grace and fire was so important. And you've always inspired me from that time that I was young, but watched what you did. And it really means a lot to me that you're here tonight with us, so thank you. Thank you very much. Very, very much. Because tonight we really make history. I'm the first elected female mayor, but Carolyn was the first female mayor of the city nearly 18 years ago, so thank you. And on that, when we talk about making history, we have tonight a new council that will soon be swearing in, a new mayor, of course, and we're a new city with so many new challenges, and it's so important that we recognize that they're real, that we name them, that we are going to continue to grow, that we are going to continue in many ways to bemoan the changes that we're experiencing, mourn the loss of what we think we had. But if I believe that we can keep that, and we can keep that by doing what we do best and recognizing and looking to the history that we've had. That's a community that from the very beginning was made of people that loved place, that knew that their success was tied to the place in which we live, and protecting the environment with which we've been gifted, and creating a community that's strong through connection to people. We're going to have to name the challenges that we have, recognize that the solutions lie in this room and in this city, and that's what I think is so special about Boise. From the time many of us arrived here, and we rolled up our sleeves, we set to work, we took risks, we innovated, we failed, and we tried again. And that's what it's time to do here. And we're going to do that by opening the doors of City Hall, by coming up with new ways to communicate and connect people to people so that we can continue to do what we've always done, which is build community through this difficult moment and big moment of change as we continue to be the fastest growing city that we've experienced. So I want to just say that I know that while we have to be clear that we're going to continue growing, that we can't stop it, that if we stay true to who we are and what we love about this place, I know that we can together protect what we love and become a city of the future. And how incredible would it be to show that in the 21st century city, in the 21st century, in a place like Boise, Idaho, we can create a community where we show that when we roll up our sleeves, get back to the basics, work really hard, build community, and try new things, that we can be that shining city, that model city where all of us come together, recognize that most importantly in our shared vision is a city for everyone. And I really look forward to spending the next 4 years waking up every day, doing nothing but thinking about that, working with the city council, the new members, with all of you, with leaders throughout this community to make sure that as we continue to grow, that Boise is that place that we all know and love and truly a place for everyone. So thank you all so very much. Now I'm going to.
And now, Elaine Clegg will be sworn in by Ada County Commissioner Diana Lasciando.
You're a little practiced at this, so. Okay. I, Elaine Clegg.
I, Elaine Clegg. Oh,
do
sorry.
Okay. Hold on. I'm going to try and do all this at once, too. Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Idaho,
the Constitution of the State of Idaho,
and the laws and ordinances of the City of Boise,
and the laws and ordinances of the City of Boise,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of counselor of the City of Boise
the duties of counselor of the City of Boise
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Okay.
Thank you. Well, thank you. Diana said, gosh, I'm practiced in this, but I have to say, taking the oath of office for any of you who've taken an oath for whatever position you've served in, it's one of the most humble, most solemn, most moving things that you can do in your life. It's a big responsibility. Living up to it isn't easy. I've never taken it as anything but that, and for 4 more years, I promise to all of you that I won't take it as anything but that. I want to thank my family, my husband, Brett. He's put up with this for 16 years. He's going to have to put up with it for another 4. I think all of my grandchildren are here tonight. This is the first time that they've all been in town on a swearing in, and it's so incredible to have all 10 of them here, as well as my 3 children and their spouses. 2 of my children are in Seattle. They couldn't be here, but I got to see them recently, and they're very excited. I'm excited. I asked Diana to do the swearing in because I think it's so symbolic in this moment in time how much we need each other. We have a county that has a government that is willing to work with us, is ready to work with us. We have issues that we need to work on together, and I'm so thankful to have people like Diana and the other commissioners there willing to do that so that we, not just as a community of Boise, but as a region, can figure out how to face this moment in time, this growth, in a way that maybe avoids some of the mistakes that we've seen across the country in places that grew before we did. And so I look forward to working on those issues as well. I appreciate Mayor Mcclain's proclamation of the same thing. Growth is, in fact, what we're facing right now. But I guess I have a little bit different perspective. I've lived in Boise almost all my life. I've been through 3 of these booms, and I've been through the ensuing busts. And one can only hope that we figure out how to manage it this time so that the bust isn't one that hurts us all like it did the last time. Growing is something that strong communities do because strong communities attract other people. Figuring out how to do that in ways that provides for the needs of all the people who live here today as well as the ones who want to come is our challenge. And we can't do it alone. We can only do it with all of you. And I am humbled to see so many of you in the audience who I've worked with on these grave growth issues over the years and who I know are willing to step up to this challenge with us so that we can, in fact, manage this time in a way that at the end of it, we don't face another bust. I think we can. Most importantly, I think we can do it in a way that preserves what I believe is so special about Boise. Yes, it's a beautiful place. Gosh, the river, the foothills, the the urban spaces, the more rural spaces, they're all, I think, very near and dear to many of us. But what makes Boise special is the people. It's all of you. It's the people up here. It's the people out here. It's the littles who are growing up here, learning that this special place takes special people. It takes people working together. I've been so blessed for 15 years to work as a team on a city where teamwork was the name of the game. As a member of the Association of Idaho Cities and the National League of Cities, I can tell you that's not the case across the country. Many cities find themselves at odds within their elected groups, and then they take that out into the community and it divides the community. This special place has never done that, and I look forward with this new special mayor to that same spirit of moving forward together, figuring out what our solutions are that we can all agree on, that we can all benefit from, and in those, finding a way to preserve what is so great about this place, which is all of you. Thank you so much for giving me another opportunity to be in this seat and serve you. It means an awful lot. Thank you.
Now, Patrick Bageant will be sworn in by Justice John Stagner.
You can raise your right hand and repeat it. You could raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Patrick Bageant,
I, Patrick Bageant,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Idaho,
the Constitution of the State of Idaho,
and the laws and ordinances of the City of Boise,
and the laws and ordinances of the City of Boise,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of council member of the City of Boise
the duties of council member of the City of Boise
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Well done.
That's right. Thank you. This whole thing really is surreal, and the cap was being invited to swear in front of a justice of the Supreme Court of the state of Idaho, something that they didn't tell me would ever happen in law school. I was thinking today, we had this beautiful spring day, and I was thinking about when I first started coming to Boise in earnest, which was about 17 years ago. I was working as a firefighter in McCall, and I'd come down here for groceries or to go see a music show or to drink a lot of beer then on hot patios. And I remember thinking then what a wonderful, beautiful, welcoming city it felt to me at that time. And I remember thinking then that this is the kind of place I'd like to be and the kind of place I'd like to serve. I didn't think then that I'd be standing in this moment doing it in this way now, but it's something that had been on my mind for a long time. I'm fully aware that the reasons we all feel the way we do about this place have more to do with the people who came before us, starting with the 5 tribes, as Mr. Taylor told us about, the people who did the hard work on the river, the people who planned this city to grow in the way that it has been growing, this incredibly fulsome effort that has made this place the place we love. And I'm grateful to those people, and I plan and hope to continue that work in that spirit to make this the kind of place, continue to be the kind of place that we all love. Before we begin that journey together, and that's how I envision it, I want to express my gratitude. I am incredibly grateful to Justice Stagner, who freely, voluntarily, and cheerfully offered to be here to do this for me tonight. And that is remarkable because he and I met when I was at a very different time in my life, about 20 years ago, waiting tables for he and his wife at the Red Door restaurant in Moscow. It's been a long time, and I'm so grateful that you could be here tonight, so thank you. I am very grateful. I'm very, very grateful to the incredibly talented human beings, professional, wonderful, brilliant, helpful, smart, selfless people who put my campaign together and who made it happen. As we all know, I could not have done it myself. And I'm so proud to call these people my friends. I thank you. And I'm so thankful to my girlfriend, Jennifer, who gave more than anyone else to make this happen. Jennifer is the kind of selfless, kind, supportive, loving, wonderful person that the rest of us aspire to be. She gave more to me than I deserved in making this campaign happen and in being here today. So everyone here should thank Jennifer for what she has done. And finally, I'm thankful to the city of Boise. It's not for electing me to the city council, but for being the kind of city and the kind of place that people want to dig in and get engaged in, the kind of place that people want to make their home, the kind of place that people want to make better. Being here, living here, being around the people here has taught me so much about what it means to be part of a community that is rocking and rolling. And I am grateful to be a part of it, and I'm thankful to Boise for being Boise. Thank you very much, everyone.
Jimmy Halliburton will be sworn in by Mayor Lauren Mcclean.
Coming up with us?
Yeah, he's coming up with us. A little bit further.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. I, Jimmy Halliburton,
I, Jimmy Halliburton,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Idaho,
the Constitution of the State of Idaho,
and the laws and ordinances of the City of Boise,
and the laws and ordinances of the City of Boise,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of counselor
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of counselor
of the City of Boise to the best of my ability.
of the City of Boise to the best of my ability.
Congratulations, Jimmy.
Thank you.
I should have said congratulations, Councilman.
Well, shoot. I did a lot to prepare for tonight. I didn't prepare for it to be this hot. Apparently, this is what happens when you wear a suit jacket. I don't do that a lot. But I just want to start by saying thank you so much. And I want to thank the Girl Scouts for being here and all of my BBP kids from Whitney and Garfield and Big Brothers, Big Sisters for saying the Pledge of Allegiance earlier. Can we maybe give them one more round of applause? Like my friend and now fellow council person, Lisa Sanchez, I talk best and learn best from stories. And I want to tell you just a quick story about one of the reasons that I'm here tonight. And it's a story about my grandpa. So my grandpa, who was up here a second ago with me, Al Larson, was one of the first people that I told that I was running for city council. I went up to his ranch in Idaho City. He's 97 years old. And when I told him, he said, you know what, you're going to need something nice to wear to city council meetings. And he went back and he got this bolo tie for me. Yeah. So that's what I'm wearing tonight. My grandpa, he was raised here in Boise, and he tells me stories about when he was a kid walking down the dirt alleys of Boise with no shoes and his overalls, collecting cardboard boxes that he could sell to store clerks for a nickel. And a nickel was what you got for a really good box. And he was raised here, and when he was in 6th grade, his mom passed away. And he was living in a pretty rough situation, and his brother came and got him, and he moved him down to Jordan Valley. And that was the end of his childhood education. He grew up mining. He fought in World War II. He fought in the Korean War, and then he came back to Boise, and he started working at Boise Cascade at the logging mill. He built a house for his family, my mom and my uncle, the same house that I grew up in years later. And for the most part, he raised them on his own. His wife passed away at a young age as well. And then at about the exact same time that I was born, he started getting really interested in bluebirds, our state bird. Some of you may know my grandpa as the Bluebird Man. And bluebirds they're second cavity dwellers. They make their nest in the holes from other birds. And they were being outcompeted by non-native species, and they were declining. And so what he did is he decided to get his hands dirty, and he started building boxes, hundreds of them. And he started hanging them up all over southwest Idaho and central Idaho, and he started banding all the baby bluebirds. And he did this for 37 years, my entire lifetime, banded about 27,000 birds. Some people give him credit for being a regular citizen scientist that restored the bluebird population to near record levels. One time I met somebody and they said, "Your grandpa is the Elvis Presley of the bluebird world." Some of the data that they got from tracking these bluebirds showed some of the earliest evidence of how climate change was affecting migration patterns on birds. And I'm telling you this story because it's really the story about how one person decided that they wanted to make an impact, how one person decided that they wanted to get their hands dirty and go beyond talking about things, beyond pointing fingers, beyond complaining, and actually start building and creating a solution. And that's what I'm here to ask you to do tonight. So many of you have been on this journey with me all throughout the years, from the day that I started the Boise Bicycle Project through this campaign. And I am standing in this building today not only because I cared enough to run, but because you cared enough to jump on this journey with me and help me build a brighter future for the city of Boise. And I'm going to ask you to keep doing that, because we have a lot of obstacles ahead in our city. I call them opportunities. And I can tell you right now that we're not always going to agree. Our city council members and myself, you all, none of us are going to agree on every single solution. But what I'm asking you is to find the things that we can agree upon, the things that we can build and create together, and let those be the things that we rally behind to overcome these obstacles and to turn those into opportunities that we're facing. People keep telling me that this is going to be hard, and they hope that I know, and they hope that I'm prepared for it. And I tell them, yep, that's why I'm doing it, because it's hard. And I know that the city of Boise can do hard things because I've seen you do it. 25 years ago, I started the Boise Bicycle Project. When I was 27 years old, I asked the mayor for a meeting. And at the time, I was fighting fires. I had a big beard. My hands were covered with soot. I was actually riding to the meeting with him. I was pulling my dog in a trailer, and somebody pulled up next to me. They rolled down their window, and they said, "Hey, do you think it's responsible that you have a dog when you can't even afford a home?" And I said, "Oh, you're implying that I'm living on the street." That same day, I went into the mayor's office. He opened his door to me, and I told him about how my vision of making Boise the most bikeable city in the country was directly in line with his vision of making it the most livable city in the country. I gave him 10 different things that the city of Boise could do, and I told him that I would help. And he said, "Jimmy, I think you're onto something here." That's my mayor beater. And within a couple of weeks, we had formed a mayor's bicycle advisory committee. He opened the door to me at a time when I needed the help the most, when I was trying to do the biggest thing that I've ever done. And I just want to acknowledge him, that door that he opened to me, and that door that he opened for so many people in the community. So many of you out there have opened up doors for me. I see my teachers in the audience. I see my coworkers. I see volunteers. I see Mary and Jordan, my friend and mentor, who has opened doors for me every single day my entire life. Thank you so much. I want to thank all of our city council members who've opened up doors for me. Lisa was one of the first people who encouraged me to run. Holly, Elaine, TJ, Patrick, you guys have all done things to open your doors for me. Scott has opened up doors for me in the past. And today, on one of the scariest parts I've ever entered into my life, I asked now Mayor Lauren Mcclean to open another door for me and to swear me in tonight. And I just want to say, Mayor Mcclean, thank you so much for doing me that honor, for opening that door for me tonight. As I wrap things up, I just want to say thank you one more time to all of you. Thank you for all of the people who volunteered for my campaign. Thank you to all of the people who've supported me over the years at BBP. Thank you to my steering committee. Thank you to all of the freaks, the weirdos, the outcasts. You are my people, and you will always be my people, despite if you see me wearing the suit. Thank you so much. And one more time, I just want to say thank you to my grandpa. On the hardest days of the campaign, I thought about you. I thought about you sitting here and being here for this moment at 97 years old. And I will do my best to live up to the impact that you've made. I don't know about living that long at 97 years old, but I'll certainly do what I can. Thank you, everybody, so much for this incredible opportunity.
All right. And with that, our new council is seated, and we will move on to special business item 8, number 2, the election of council president and president pro tem. With
Madam
that,
Mayor?
I would entertain a motion.
Madam Mayor, I'd like to move. I'd like to nominate Elaine Clegg for council president.
We have a motion and a second, and that Elaine Clegg would serve as council president. We will take a roll call vote, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Sanchez.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Woodings. Yes. Bageant. Yes. Clegg.
Yes.
Halliburton. All in favor, motion carries.
Oh, wait. I'm going to call you Councilman Halliburton instead of Jimmy this time. Did you vote?
Yeah.
Oh, you did get called. Oh, the audience was saying that you... Gotcha. Okay.
Can I say just a couple of words?
Of course.
Well, I just want to say thank you to my fellow council members. For those of you who couldn't guess, I used to be a basketball player, as did my husband. And team building, team sports has always been really important to me. And I look at this dais and I see an awfully strong team. And I hope that I can be someone who can help be a leader, help be that person who helps us find our way together, and look forward to working not just with the city council, but with the new mayor. As I said earlier, this city's always been about working together. That's the way that Mayor Bueter set the stage for all of us in the time that I've served before, and I have no doubt that it's the way that we'll continue, because it's the way we'll be successful. Thank you so much for your confidence in me and letting me hold this position.
Congratulations, Madam President.
Thank you.
Well, Madam Mayor, I would like to make a nomination myself as well, before which, though, I would like to congratulate all of you. Congratulations to you, Mayor McLean, to our 2 new council members, to our my colleague who we're lucky enough to have come back, and also to a group that hasn't been mentioned, all the unbelievable candidates that ran for the Boise City Council. It was phenomenal. Please stay involved, get on commissions, run again. You're a phenomenal part of this city, so congratulations to you all. You know, Madam Mayor, you've already made history tonight by becoming the first woman elected to the mayor of the city of Boise. I think it's time we make history one more time tonight and have all 3 positions of leadership in the city of Boise for the first time, all women. I nominate Councilmember Holly Woodings for pro tem.
Second.
Thank you, TJ, for your nomination. And with that, we have a motion and a second, and we'll take a roll call vote.
Sanchez.
Before I cast my vote, I just want to say what an honor it is to be with this group. Councilmember Woodings and I know each other prior to serving on city council. We served together on the board of directors of the Girl Scouts. And we have not always had an easy relationship. But that's what diversity brings, is you don't always agree. And the reality is, Councilmember Woodings doesn't need my vote to become our pro tem. She doesn't need me at all, but I need her. A lot of the times I walk into rooms and I'm the only one of my kind. And Councilmember Woodings and I had a discussion shortly before we started the event this evening. And I told her, I said, the reason I ran for office in 2017 is because children that could be mine are locked up at the border. Children who, for all intents and purposes, are American, but for a piece of paper, they're not considered American. And that's what led me to run for office. So the reality is, in order for someone like me to be among these people, I need these people to be good people. I need them to welcome me. So before I cast my vote, I would humbly ask if Councilmember Woodings would consider that in 2021, would she nominate me to be council pro tem? And would she mentor me in 2020 to take on that role?
I mean, I very much respect what you said. I really feel put on the spot right now, and it's a little bit uncomfortable. As part of my remarks, should I become council pro tem, I would commit, and I want to commit, to making everybody on this council as successful as they possibly can be, and helping everyone on this council, I'm sorry, I have a head cold right now, so I'm a little hoarse, accomplish their goals as members of this council. And Councilmember Sanchez, it has been an honor to watch how much you've grown on this council, and I commit to helping you continue that growth in your service to the city of Boise.
Thank you, Councilmember Woodings. Would you like me to vote yes for you?
Whatever you choose.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Woodings. Yes. Bageant.
Yes.
Clegg.
Yes.
Halliburton. Yes. All in favor, motion carries.
Holly. Do you want to say anything?
Oh, sorry. I thought I already said something. It's a huge honor for me to serve on city council, and I mean, when I came to the council, I don't think that I fully understood the type of impact that this city council has on our residents and the types of things that I would be able to do to create more equity in our communities and to really leave something lasting. And it's just been a huge honor to do this work. And it's work that I absolutely love. It's work that is sometimes frustrating, but oftentimes gratifying. And my colleagues have just been incredibly supportive. Everyone celebrates successes, and we can usually muddle through if we don't completely agree on something and come to something that we can agree on and move forward with. I do commit to mentoring everyone on this council and helping anyone, because I'm a policy nerd, create policies that make our city better in whatever way that we would like to make our city better as a council. So this is a huge honor for me. I consider it a huge responsibility, and I'm committed to taking that responsibility incredibly seriously. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Madam President Pro Tem. And with that, there is no further business to come before the council.
Move we adjourn.
And we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thank you.